Have you lost your faith in humanity? I know I have. Today we are going to be reacting to extremely happy stories. First story of the day. Hero jumps into Maryland Bay to save toddler's life after crash flings her car seat into the water. Look at these pictures though. I mean, the truck is on the rail about to be in the water. Jonathan Bauer is afraid of heights. Wait a minute, I don't remember that. I read one or two of these stories before, but it's been a while, so it's like reading it all over again for the first time. Jonathan Bauer is afraid of heights. The man is a hero. Already. Doing the thing that afraids him, that's dumb. Doing the thing that frightens him, there we go. But that didn't stop him from leaping off a bridge some 25 to 40 feet to the water below to save a little girl's life. On May 2nd, Bauer and his teenage daughter Ava were running errands when they got caught in a serious 5-car pile-up on Route 90 bridge over Maryland's Assawaman Bay. The accident sent 8 people to the hospital and left a pickup truck dangling precariously over the guardrail. After making sure Ava was okay, Bauer got out of his car to see if anyone needed help. As he headed toward the teetering truck, his passenger alerted him to a heart-wrenching sight. A toddler, ejected from the passenger seat, was floating in the bay. Floating in the bay. Her pink dress billowing in the waves. Okay, that's extra. Who wrote this? They don't know that. What the heck? No bystander would say billowing in the waves. I looked over and I saw the car seat, some other items, and then about 6 feet away from the car seat, I saw the little girl. Okay, she was actually out of the car seat. She didn't stay in the car seat floating safely. She was floating on her back, perfectly on her back, arms moving, legs kicking, Bauer said. Oh my gosh. Imagine getting into a car accident so bad and then the truck almost floats over the rail, gets stuck on the rail, 40 feet down, you see your baby's car seat. Baby's not in the car seat. Baby is in the water. Kicking and screaming. That's crazy. Scanning the water for nearby boats that might be able to help, Bauer found none close by. When he turned his attention back to the little girl, circumstances have changed. She had flipped over onto her stomach and her face is in the water. Bauer yelled to his daughter to pull over, the first firefighter or paramedic she saw. Then he simply peeled off his shoes and jumped in, feet first. He's afraid of the water. He's not going to swan dive, y'all. Come on.
Angelo è la base di Luganis, è già molto in avanti.
Surfacing without injury, he swam to the toddler, who appeared to be only semi-conscious. Hefting the child over his shoulders, he patted her back until she started to cough and expel the water from her system. He didn't even he didn't even CPR her. He just beat the life back into her. Okay. Moments later, boaters Joe and Elena Ortel. I'm bad with names, y'all. Come on. Who's good with names when they read them? Unbeknownst to who this is. Like, everybody's gonna mess with the names always. Boaters Joe and Elena, who'd witnessed the events unfold, arrived. After pulling Bauer and the 2-year-old to safety, the Ortels rushed the pair to the 66th Street ramp, where they were met by waiting paramedics. The little girl was airlifted to Johns Hopkins Children's Center in Baltimore for evaluation and treatment. She's since been released and expected to make a full recovery. Bauer, overwhelmed by the experience, quietly slipped away without taking credit for his brave actions. Even after reports of the incident went public, he initially tried to keep his involvement quiet, preferring to remain an anonymous good Samaritan. See, even more of a hero. Dude wanted to just cut, just dip, just leave, just hide. I'm not going to take credit for my deeds. The child's life is all that matters. His community, however, was determined to show his appreciation. They got their wish. On May 7th, in a kitchen table press conference held at Ocean City's Fire Station 3, Bauer was reunited with Joe and Elena Ortel and a number of the first responders who were on the scene that day. Jonathan's truly a humble hero, and that's what makes this even more special than it already was. Next, world's most premature baby defies 1% survival odds to break Guinness Record. I mean, what's better heartfelt news than babies beasting life after not being promised life? Do it! Born on July 2020, exactly 1 month after the previous world's most premature baby, Curtis from Alabama would go on to make history. Initially, Michelle Shelley Butler's pregnancy seemed to be progressing well and on track to go full term. But on July 2020, she had to be rushed into the hospital for emergency surgery. She was quickly transferred from her local hospital to the University of Alabama in Birmingham, which was heralded for having one of the leading neonatal and pediatric departments in the country. That's good. You're in the right place. I mean, if you were somewhere else. Thanks to the quick response of the experienced medical team at the Regional Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, following his mother's wishes, Curtis was delivered to a gestational age of 21 weeks and 1 day. Oh my God. His original due date had been November 11. He was born in July. He's like a half baby. That's crazy. Full term is usually 40 weeks or 280 days. He literally made it like 8 days after half. Half, y'all. He had half the time to cook, making Curtis 132 days, almost 19 weeks premature. Look at that little guy. Look at him. He's so tiny. They're not supposed to be made that small. He was less than a pound. He was 14.8 ounces. That's crazy. About the same as a soccer ball. Medical staff told me they don't normally keep babies at that age. That has to be the most frightening news as a mom. I mean, good Lord. Moms are already freaking out for 9 whole months, wondering if anything's going to go wrong with the baby or with them before they deliver. And they're worried about the delivery, and then they're worried about after the... And then the medical staff just cavalierly gives you the information. No, we usually don't keep babies like that. Usually just a little older. I mean, we don't. It was very stressful. To everyone's amazement, Curtis responded extraordinarily well to treatment, and as the days and weeks went on, he grew stronger and stronger. That said, there were many challenges along the way. He required around-the-clock care for many months. Yes. Incredible story of joy and beating the odds is tempered with heartache because Curtis was one of twins. Okay. Oh, that's sad. Also delivered at 21 weeks and 1 day, his sister was less developed and did not respond to the treatment the way her brother did. Tragically, she passed away a day after birth. Oh, no. No. Well, that's sad. But one of them made it, so that's good. For the vast majority of preterm babies born this early on, the chances of long-term future are vanishingly slim. After 275 days, about 9 months of being looked after by a huge team at the RNICU and the Wider Women and Infant Center, it was determined that Curtis was fit enough to go home on April 6th of 2021. Let's go, boy. Curtis, or Pootie. Let's go, Pootie, as his family also called him, celebrated his first birthday on the 5th of July. 2021. Next, 13-year-old boy granted a Make-A-Wish and uses it to feed the homeless every month for a year. Okay, you're supposed to be looking after you, boy. You're looking after everybody else. That is why you make the world a happier place, because you give, and that's what love is all about. When life hands you a miracle, you bask in its glow, or you can pay it forward. Abraham was 12 years old when he and his family learned that without a bone marrow transplant might prove fatal. Fast forward 1 year, 1 successful transplant, and an intense schedule of chemotherapy later. And Abraham is out of the hospital and his prognosis is promising, but that's not the only good news. Over the course of his illness, Abraham learned he'd qualified as the recipient for Make-A-Wish. Hey! Bone marrow transplant, chemotherapy, you need some good news. Rather than something for himself, Abraham chose to show thanks for his good fortune by passing it along to others. Look at that kid. Look at that guy. That swell fella. On their way home from one of his many doctor's appointments, the Mississippi teen shared his decision with his mom, Miriam. The wish Abraham asked for was to feed the homeless in his area for 1 day a month for an entire year. While she couldn't have been more proud of Abraham, Miriam did wonder if perhaps he would rather have something for himself. But really, she wasn't surprised by her son's selfishness. It was always a good thing to do, and that's what I grew up doing. So I go back to my roots to do what I was taught to do. When he so easily gives to others at a time where everybody really should be supporting him, you just have to say, that's a remarkable young man. I concur. On the 3rd Thursday of each month, Make-A-Wish's Mississippi chapter has committed to helping Abraham coordinate with local organizations and businesses to feed up to 80 homeless people in Jackson's Poindexter Park. When the homeless people get the plate, some of them would come back and sing to us and thank us. Oh, it really feels good. It warms our hearts. And my parents always taught us that it's a blessing to be a blessing. Someone so happy they sing to you like it's in a movie, like a musical, like birds beckon and just flutter on their shoulders and start tweeting with them. That's too heartwarming. That feels made up. That's it for the video. Like it, share it, spread the happy. Bye.